We're going to start with the NFC first. It's on Saturday night, a 7 seed, the Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers in a playoff game. If this sounds familiar to you, then hey, the Niners playing the Packers in a playoff game. Guess what? This is the 10th time they're meeting in the playoffs. Most common postseason matchup in NFL history. They don't play in the same division, by the way. It's quite wild. No other matchup in the playoffs has occurred more than 5 times since 1995. This is the 10th time that they're playing each other in the playoffs. All time. And it's Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant in his draft, against Jordan Love, who was totally irrelevant in his team, while Aaron Rodgers was starting for the Packers and winning MVPs and making the playoffs, and then, guess what? Not beating the 49ers. It's now time for Jordan Love to step up and potentially do something that Rodgers was unable to do in his final throws as a quarterback in Green Bay, which is get to the NFC Championship game by beating the San Francisco 49ers, something the Dallas Cowboys have been unable to do, and the Cowboys wanted to do in the NFC Championship game, but Jordan Love had other ideas. One last interesting fact right here. They're the first, the Packers, 7 seed to win a playoff game. And when I mean ever, because there used to be 8 teams that made playoffs in the NFL. 7 seed didn't even win back then. Under the current construct, they are a 7 seed now in the divisional playoffs. That has not happened. If you're wondering if that's ever happened in, say, any sport, they would be, the Packers, if they win the Super Bowl, the lowest seed to win a Super Bowl, obviously, since the 7 seed's not won. The 6-seeded Packers in 2010 was the lowest seed to ever win a Super Bowl, matching the 05 Steelers, who were the 6th seed. The lowest seed to ever win the NBA championship, the Larry O.B., the 6-seeded Houston Rockets in 1995.
Whoa.
The lowest seed to win the World Series, we just saw it. The 5-seed Texas Rangers in 2023 and the 2014 San Francisco Giants. The lowest seed to win the Stanley Cup, the 8th-seeded LA Kings in 2012. And then the lowest seed to ever win the Big Dance. Sorry to bring it up, TJ. The 85 Villanova team were the 8th seed to win it all then. The Packers have a chance to shock the sports world. The 49ers are coming off of their bye week, and they are healthy, but they got curb stomped by the Ravens on Christmas night, and then they got banged up against the Washington Commanders and finally winning the 1 seed. They also got some help from the Lions as well, where they got a little bit screwed up in Dallas. That sealed the 1 seed for the 49ers because they'd already beaten the Cowboys and the Eagles, and the Lions losing in eligible gate cleared the path for the 49ers. Let's see if they can get back to the NFC Championship game. All they got to do is beat the 7-seeded Packers, who come in young and hungry and not knowing anything about what they should be doing other than what they think they need to do, which is just win football games. Can they go ahead and one and done the 1-seed 49ers after they just one and done the 2-seed Dallas Cowboys? And if they do that, not only would that shock the world, that would give the Detroit Lions an opportunity to host a 3rd playoff game at home this postseason, because they would be taking on the Buccaneers for the right to host the NFC Championship game. If not, then the Niners move on, and the Lions and the Buccaneers would be taking on each other for the right to go to San Francisco. This is kind of wild. The Lions are hosting their 2nd playoff game in a 7-day span this weekend. They would host a 3rd playoff game this postseason, as I mentioned, in the NFC Championship game, if the Packers surprise. The Lions hosted 2 home playoff games in a 65-year span before this past week.
Wow.
What the hell is going on?
They're hungry.
And as it was pointed out on yesterday's program by Mike Tirico, who's calling this game, It is a matchup between two first overall selected quarterbacks who are playing for different teams because the teams that drafted them thought that they could do better without them. And here comes Baker Mayfield to take on Jared Goff. Baker Mayfield for a Bucs team that we all thought would just fall off the cliff now that Tom Brady is gone. This Bucs team could go to the NFC Championship game with Baker friggin' Mayfield as their quarterback. And Mike Evans is coming in. I know we played each other in week 4 with Godwin and everybody, that this game didn't go their way. Different team right now. And the Lions are coming into this game having the roar being restored. What will happen when the two teams face each other, potentially knowing they can host an NFC Championship game? For the Lions to make it after we saw their midseason swoon into the right to play one game for the Super Bowl, holy cow. That is kind of wild when you think about it. That's your NFC Divisional Playoff preview. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.